Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Dee here. Today I'm going to create a flawless face makeup foundation using only drugstore products, so everything is very reasonably priced. You can pick them up at your local drugstores, whether it be Target, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Walmart. They've almost all got these products in stock. So if you'd like to see the look that I'm going to create, stay tuned. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you like the content that I'm creating, and leave me a comment below. Starting with a freshly moisturized face, I use the First Aid Beauty's Ultra Repair Cream and Pond's as a moisturizer, and I feel like that really leaves my skin very supple, nice and moisturized, and ready for a flawless application of makeup. So to get started and priming my face, I'm going to use L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base, and it's just a face primer. It comes in this little tub like this, and it's a very putty primer. Here, I'll show you on the back of my hand. But you can see it's very thick, but this is what I use, and I start by applying it predominantly here in this area where my pores are the largest, and then down to my smile lines, and then I'll just work this all the way in. So I'll just press the primer in, that way it sits nicely in my pores and leaves me with a nice and clean canvas for my liquid foundation. So for foundation, I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. This is a full coverage foundation, and I'm going to use the shade 312, which is golden. I really like this foundation. I use it all the time. It says that it has up to 24 hours of wear, which I can attest to. It does have very long wear. It leaves me looking very poreless, very airbrushed, and it's drugstore. It's about $10. Again, you can find it at Target, Walmart, CVS, and I love it. So now I'm just gonna go in with my beauty blender. It's a damp one. This is the e.l.f. like face perfecting beauty sponge. So I'm gonna go in with that, and I'm just essentially going to start blending. So what I like to do is I like to just take some off the back of my hand like that, and then I start by focusing the makeup first in this area, and then I work my way through, making sure that before moving to the next side, everything is nice and blended out. I'll take some of the product down onto my neck. That way it's just all cohesive. This is the side with the foundation, and this is the side without. So far, this is a look that we have. This is with one layer of the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. So full coverage, definitely. The shade matches my skin really nice, and it laid down very poreless and flawless. So now we're just gonna move on to concealer, and for concealer, I'll be using this is also Maybelline. This is Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is a corrector. So I really like this concealer. It's very opaque and it blends out really nice. And I believe this is in the shade 120, which is light. And I think there are two other shades, one lighter and then one a little bit darker. But I typically use one right in the middle. So this is what I'm gonna go in with. I do get it going a bit. And then this, I'm just gonna, as opposed to putting the applicator directly on my face, I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand, squeeze out all of that product, just like that. And then I'll just go in with my concealer brush, pick up the product that I have on the back of my hand, and then what I'm going to do is focus this concealer in the center of my face, so closer, just right in this area like this. And the reason why I'm focusing predominantly towards the center of my face is because I want a more narrow look as opposed to my face looking wide. If you wanted your face to have a wider look, you would pull the concealer all the way out and blend it that way. But again, because I'm going for a narrower look, I'm going to focus the concealer right here. Okay, great. So now that that concealer is laid down, I'm going to go ahead and blend it out. Again, just taking my beauty blender with that. Okay, great. So this is what it looks like after the concealer is all blended out. Now what I'm going to do next is take my Coty Airspun powder. It's a translucent powder. You can find this at Walmart. You can purchase it on Amazon, and I'll have everything linked below in the description box. So everything that I use in this video, you'll be able to purchase directly through a link. So I'm just going to take the translucent powder straight on the cap, just like that. That's about how much that's about how much I'll be using. And then I'll shake it out a bit just to get it loosened up. Go underneath my eyes just one more time to make sure there's no creasing. Go into the powder and then start to bake. So now I'm essentially just going to blend the translucent powder directly into my skin and let everything melt together, and then we'll move on to powder foundation. Perfect. So typically this is the stage of my makeup where I would start my eyebrows. So I'm just gonna do those off camera and I'll be right back. So now that my eyebrows are done, I'm gonna move on to my face. If you guys wanna see a dedicated video on how I achieve this look on my eyebrows, just leave me a comment in the comment section below and I'll make sure to create what you wanna see. Next, I'm gonna go in with my face powder, and I use the Maybelline Fit Me. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and I use it in the shade Medium Deep. And I switch between the Medium Deep and the Light Medium. So Light Medium is typically my color in the winter, and then in spring and in summer, I use the Medium Deep. So again, because it's a loose powder, I'll just tap it in the cap. I don't use much. I just use a tiny bit, and I use a big fluffy brush to apply it. That way I can get a nice airbrushed look. Here is my fluffy brush. I'm just gonna dip it in the product, tap off any excess, and then I'm gonna get to setting. So I like to start setting around my smile lines. That way the liquid foundation doesn't have much time to settle in. I'll blend it out first, and then we'll just go in. Perfect. So at this point, I would now move on to my bronzing and or my contouring. So I typically like a very blown out contour look. I'll be using a big fluffy brush to achieve that. This is my Morphe. This is just a big fluffy brush. I don't know the exact name for it, but whatever big fluffy brush you got, if you're looking for a blown out look, then that's what you'll use. If you're looking for something a little more constructed, a little more contoured, you can use a brush like this. You can use a brush like this, and that'll give you a very, you know, defined like bronze contour look. I also have this brush that I use sometimes. Most of the time I use it when I'm like going out and I really want a chiseled look, but I love this brush. This brush is amazing. But for today, I'm gonna use my fluffy brush. I'm gonna do a blown out contour look, and let's do it. Maybelline City Bronzer. This is in the shade 300. Amazing bronzer. This is comparable to the Morphe Glamour Bronze in Big Shot, but this is the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 300. And then I'm just going to blow out my bronzer, just like this. Perfect. I'm also going to take the bronzer to my forehead. Perfect. So great. Now what I'm going to do is just take some more of that translucent powder in my beauty blender, and I'm just going to cut where I had bronze just to clean it up a bit. Okay, so I'll go back into my bronzer. So now this is where I contour my nose. If I'm going to contour my nose, I switch between a brush like this, a fluffy brush, and a brush like this. If I'm looking for a very chiseled nose contour, then I'd use a brush like this. I'd use a brush like this because I would draw on the contour. So if I wanted, you know, if I wanted my nose to look a little slimmer, I would draw like a triangle with this brush here. just right here and right here, and then I would blend it out. Today, because this is like my everyday type look and I really do enjoy like the blown out, you know, type deal, I'm just gonna use the fluffy brush and I'm gonna go back in with my City Bronzer. I always like to start from where my eyebrow ends in the inner corner. That I use as a guide, and then I just bring it down just like that. If it's messy, if it's a little messy, it's okay. We're gonna go back in and blend that out. And then I'm going to take some more of the product just beneath the tip of my nose and blend that out. Now that we have this as our nose contour, I'm just going to go in with that big bronzer brush that I was using before and blend it all out. All right, beautiful. So now we're going to move on to blush. So for the blush, I'm just going to use the lightest shade, and this is in the e.l.f. blush palette in dark. I'm going to use the lightest shade, which is right here. And I'm just going to go in with a fluffy blush brush. This is an Eco Tools brush. Then I'm going to do again the same circular motions, just buffing the blush onto my face. All right, great. So this is what we have so far. I'm just gonna take my big bronzer brush and just brush away all of that translucent powder. All right, great. So at this point, I can go ahead and highlight my face. I'm not gonna do my eyes. I'll do that off camera and then I'll come back and show you guys. But for right now, I'm just gonna get highlighted. So for my highlighter, I use the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the shade 100, which is Molten Gold. I'm just gonna go in with my highlighter brush, grab some of the product, and then here we go. I like to put the highlighter just at my cheekbones, on the tip of my nose, sometimes on the bridge, and on my Cupid's bow. So this is the finished look that we have. It's nice and glowy. This is my foundation look. Again, I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna do my eyes, I'm gonna do my lips, we'll be all good to go. But this is what we have so far. I just wanted you guys to see this. This is all Drugstore. I'll have everything linked in the description box below. That way, if you're looking to purchase it, you can go ahead and just click on the link and you're right there. It looks good to me. So I'll be right back, you guys. I'm just gonna go do my eye makeup. I'm gonna do my lip makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look. I'm just gonna take my Mario Badescu facial spray. Give it a nice little spray, rejuvenate the face, get it nice and moisturized. So I really didn't do much on my eyes. I just took my bronzer, put it all over my eyelids, put on mascara, and then line my lips, put some lipstick on. I used the Wet n Wild Nude Streak lipstick. I used NYX Lingerie liquid lips to line my lips. And then, you know, I used mascara and I used my bronzer for my eyes. But this is really it. I mean, for Drugstore, like this is an entire Drugstore look. We are pretty flawless. So if you haven't tried the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation, you gotta try it. If you haven't tried the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder Foundation, you gotta try it. They're both just, they're really up there. So this is what we have. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope that you're enjoying the content that I'm creating because I'm having a really fun time creating it. And if you have any comments or any feedback for me, I'm 100% open to it, grateful for it. So just leave that in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for content just like this and even more. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.